Hey, Norah,
Hello, Dad.
what do you call a fish with no eyes?
Odie, because he's dead.
No,
Oh,
a fish.
it's better than mine. Mine was just sad.
What are we
Spoiler alert, my fish died.
what are we talking about this week?
We're talking about my fish and the rock off.
Welcome back to the Nora and Dad show. I am, as always, Dad, and my voice cracked. Did you hear that?
I heard that, yeah.
Wow. I am, as always, Dad. It didn't quite crack. You know what? It's my throat is so raw from last night. So, and we'll get to that in a second. So, and I'm here with Nora, as always. So,
Hello.
hello. So today is a good news, bad news themed episode. So are we going good news first or are we going bad
Good
news
news.
first? Good news first. So the good news is
Drum roll, please. No one can hear that. You gotta do the. I'm going to the finals.
we were at the High School Rock Off round 2 of the semifinals last night at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and Nora Marie played a killer 15-minute set of music and advanced to the finals. It was really, really, really exciting, and my throat's paying for it today because I was screaming my head off for you, but it was really fun.
It was a pretty cool day.
So let's recap. So you're originally one of 30 bands. You're now, I guess, you're one of 8 that have gone through to the finals, and there's 10 more that are going to compete next week, and 4 of them will go through. So you'll be one of 12 on March 2nd at the Rock Hall to see who's going to be named the 27th and final best band in the land, since, as we said in the last episode, this is going to be the last High School Rock Off, we think. But you pick your slot to perform in the show last night based on, it's like a draft, and you draft based on how many tickets you sell. And so you picked what? You said 5th?
Yeah, I was 5th. So right smack dab in the middle.
And you chose to close the show,
I did.
which we all thought when you told us was like the baller of baller moves, because you're not like the other 9 bands were like bands. They were like big, like loud, for the most part, big loud rock bands, and you're just like,
I'm not.
you're just Nora, and just up on stage with your guitar. But you closed the show, you killed it. Do you want to recap your set a little bit?
Yes. Well, we were a bit behind, so I went on later than expected. When we were at the meeting, Barry was like, "Yeah, like sometimes we tend to pick up speed as the night goes. So like tell your parents to be there early." And I look at some of the bands behind me. I go, "Guys, they're never ahead of schedule. You will not be playing on time."
Because you've done this a few times before, so
They are never on time. There's always bands that go over, which is fine. It was funny. And then I was able to choose between 8:10 or 9:30. Those are my 2 spots, because I didn't want to go any earlier. I think the 6th slot was 8:10. And I was like, well, why not go last? My friends convinced me to go last. I'm glad they did. I was very iffy about it. And then I played my set. I started with an original, and I did Toxic by Britney Spears, but the Norah Marie version. And then I did another original, and then I closed the whole night with White Rabbit.
by Jefferson Airplane.
Or White Wabbit is all my friends were chanting. Did you hear them do that?
I did.
Yeah.
White.
I could hear them from the stage. They're going, White Wabbit, White Wabbit, White Wabbit.
that wascally White Wabbit.
They're making fun of me.
But it was a great way to end the night, because you sing it so well, and you hit all those notes at the end, and you just brought the house down at the end of the night.
I did listen to the video that you posted.
It was
'cause I was curious. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean the audio quality on the video, like the iPhone video, is not great, but
I hit the note.
Yeah, but you definitely hit the note at the end, and then there was a long wait while the judges tabulate scores.
It wasn't. I mean, I had friends, so I was having fun. You were probably more nervous than I was.
I was a wreck. I was nervous.
Me and my friends, we went in the basement. I mean, it's a basement, right? The first, like,
yeah,
we went to the basement.
The ground floor of the Rock Hall.
We put together 2 tables. We chit chatted. We shared pictures. We laughed. We went back up when the music started.
I dropped you off at like 3:30. I dropped you off at like 4 for the pre-band meeting, whatever they do, and then I went home to get your mom, and then come back down to the Rock Hall for the show. And from the minute I dropped you off, my stomach started doing like flip-flops, and then I was fine. And then we got down to the Rock Hall, and I settled in, and the first few bands. And then, but as the night went on and you got closer to your slot, like I got more and more nervous. And I never get nervous when you perform, just because it's A, it's out of my control, and B, you're always just so like in control. You're always so in control on stage. But for some reason at the Rock Off, I did 4 years ago too with your bands. I just get nervous. So
I was nervous until I played.
And
well, like I wasn't nervous, and then one band before me, when I was backstage, I was like, this is a little scary. But then I took a chill pill. I tuned my guitar.
A figurative chill pill, not a literal chill pill.
No, I had a cold glass of water. And then I just went up, and it was fine.
And yeah, and it's probably the best I've ever heard you sound, or the best I've ever seen you perform. I was like choking back tears. I'm an emotional guy to begin with anyway, so it's not hard to get me going, but I was really emotional watching you perform. It was great.
Their sound system's so nice too.
It is.
Like being mixed by like a professional with that PA system.
But that's what
Tommy was telling us. Tommy was like,
it's a hard room to mix though, because of the glass and the weird angles. It's just
that's
the sound bounces
us.
just weird angles off if you've never been to the Rock Hall, or if you've ever seen it, it's like the I.M. Pei, the famous architect. He always designs like glass pyramids, and the Rock Hall's a glass like triangle shaped thing, and it's just weird angles and for the sound to bounce off of. But you sounded great. So we take this it's like a half an hour break between when you go off stage, and then they count the scores, and then they come back on to announce the 4 bands moving on to the finals. So they announced the first band was this band from Philly. They were
phenomenal.
Yeah,
they were so good.
Modern Yesterday?
Modern Yesterday.
Yeah, they were
so good.
Amazing. And I knew they were going to make it. And then
I did too.
And then they announced the second band. And then they always announce the school first.
Running with Scissors, very good.
And then they ate. And then they said, from Lake Ridge Academy.
And the crowd went wild.
Yeah,
by the crowd, I mean us.
Here, we can actually play a little audio of you, because I captured the moment. We can play a little audio of you.
I hear you in the background. You go, yeah, Norah!
So we can hear this. This is how it sounded last night.
From Lake Ridge Academy.
That's fantastic.
So when you hear from Lake Ridge Academy, like what's going through your mind?
Someone needs to hold my purse and my flowers was the first thing I thought. I said, I cannot go on stage with that. And then I was like, oh, I have to get there fast, because it's really annoying when they're just like waiting for you. So then I zoomed on over. And then once I got on stage, I was like, oh, wait, this just happened.
So you were thinking of the mechanics of how this was going to happen, not like that it actually just happened.
Yeah. I didn't think it was going to happen. Apparently everyone else did except for me.
I thought it was going to happen.
I didn't.
Everyone that came to see you thought it was going to happen.
Well, doesn't everybody that comes to see a band think that they're going to get to the finals?
No, I don't think so. I think
like when you saw when you thought Fake ID was going to get to the finals.
Yeah.
You thought Social Cues should have gotten to the finals.
I thought you guys played when you did it 4 years ago with Social Cues, I thought you were one of the top 4 bands that night.
Yeah, and we were not. So I think sometimes you just assume. I thought we were still pretty good, though. I'm still upset about that.
But as far as last night, I'm not going to say anything about any of the bands. I thought all the bands were great.
I did too. I had a great time.
I think you justifiably were in the top 4, and it's hard for me to be objective with your performing, but objectively as I can be, or as objective as I can be, I thought you were in the top 4. And it's hard when it's just you, because you don't have a band. You're not the same like big loud bands that
I can be big and loud.
Well, I know
I packed a punch. I'm never quiet. When have I been quiet ever?
Never.
Mr. Patala said something the other day.
That's your
for listeners. That's my principal.
That's your high school principal.
I forget what it was. I don't remember. And then he was like, he's telling me and my friends, he's like, be quiet. And I was like, Mr. Patala, when have we ever been quiet? He was like, that's a good point.
Never.
We love to bother him. We go by his office. We knock on his little windows. We go, hi, Mr. Patala.
Okay, so you get 2 prizes for advancing to the Rock Off Finals. The first is you get to go back on March 2nd and play another set.
Yippee.
And we're not going to give anything away. I'm not sure you know yet, but you're not going to play the same set in 3 weeks.
Even though you think I should.
It was a great set. It was a really well-constructed set, but I think you can do something. You can build a similar set with similar
different
songs that kind of builds on itself and comes at the same crescendo. So I think you can.
I have ideas.
Yeah. So, but you're not going to play the same set as you played last night.
No, I wish we got 20 minutes. That would make life easier. I know there's more bands, so obviously the 15 minutes makes sense, but if I just had like 5 extra minutes, I would know exactly what I'm doing.
What about like 1 extra minute? What if you do like 16?
That's okay. They're okay with that.
Yeah, I think
I'll have to plan my set out.
I think you're okay. I think they'd be okay with 16. So the prize number 1 is you get to go play the final exam in 3 weeks with 11. Really, I mean, they're going to be 11 really high quality high school bands. It's going to be a great.
There's another solo musician. She's great.
Yeah, she played last week in advance, and we obviously didn't get to see her. But
awesome.
I saw the Insta videos, the reels, and she looked good. So I'm looking forward to seeing her.
I'm the most excited for the band with the banjo. I'm going to go so crazy when they go on. I'm going to be the most hyped person in the crowd.
There's like a bluegrass band, there's a country band, there's another solo artist.
I forgot about the Clarence and the Beekeepers. Yeah, I'm actually really hyped to see all the bands that moved on last week.
It's going to be a really good show. And then, but the real prize for advancing to the finals is
you get to record a song.
We'll be going down to Tri-C
on Wednesday.
For those not from the area, that's Cuyahoga County Community College. They have a recording arts program, and they record the finalists and put out a CD. And so you're going to go record one of your original songs, and it's really cool.
Speaking of which, did you receive an email today?
Was I supposed to receive an email today? Yes. With the details?
Yes, to Norah Marie.
I did not yet, no.
Okay. Maybe sometime tomorrow then. He said probably tomorrow. All right. So,
but if I don't get it by tomorrow, then I will email the contact at the Rock Off and figure out what's going on. So
okay. All right, I got you off track.
Oh, you did get me off track. No, that's okay. And so that'll be Wednesday, and then we'll start getting ready for that. We'll start getting ready for the Rock Off. So
guys, it's so much fun. It's a great time.
So that was the good news this week. Do you want to share the bad news?
I already kind of did. We had to euthanize. Not we, I had to euthanize my pet fish.
Poor Odie the beta fish is no more. Odie came home from school with you at the end of school last year from your science class, your ecology class.
It was an experiment, and
you saved an experimental animal. And
I don't know if, that makes it sound like we were like putting drugs in him. We watched his behavior. Like it was like we watched how he reacted when we put a mirror inside of the tank, or if we increased the water temperature.
It's not like you rescued a monkey they were like testing chemicals on.
No, it wasn't like it was. Yeah, like there's just like one woman on TikTok that like rescued a beagle from like an animal testing lab. It was not like that. Very different. Odie lived a great life before as well. But yeah, he was really sick. I didn't even know it was wrong. It was just bad.
Well, he was sick. He was sick like a month or two ago, and you nursed him back to health.
I did, but I don't know if I actually did. I feel like it may have been like a
false. It was what, like some kind of like bacterial something or another.
Bacterial and fungal infection.
And you bought medicines, and I
had a quarantine tank for him.
You had a tremendous amount of both like mental, emotional, and actual like monetary capital invested in this beta fish.
Oh yeah, so much.
Yeah.
Kind of an embarrassing amount. When I told my teacher, who gave me the fish. I was like, yeah, I don't think he's going to make it. Like 3 months ago, he was like, just get a new one. I was
Yeah.
like, you don't understand. I spent so much money on this fish. I'm invested in this fish. He was like, Nora, they're like $5. I was like, but you don't get it.
So he's not been doing well. He wasn't doing well for the last, couple weeks, I guess.
Yeah, he stopped eating completely, which is normally the first sign that a fish is sick. And then that was really it. And then he started like laying at the bottom of his tank, struggling to breathe because betas, they come up to get air at the surface, and he was struggling to do that. And then I kind of knew that it was bad because when I decided that I was gonna no longer prolong his suffering, I reached my hand into the tank with a glove on to grab him. He didn't even move when I went to touch him, which is, if anybody has fish, they don't like being handled. So that was very much so not a normal behavior.
Oh, that's no good.
Yeah. So apparently there are humane ways to euthanize a fish. I didn't know that. We flushed them down the toilet, which made me feel awful.
I always thought you flushed fish down the
so
toilet.
Awful.
You know.
Well, when they're dead, but when they're alive, like that's like.
All right. So here's the thing. I remember there's an episode of the Brady Bunch. So I get my scientific knowledge from the Brady Bunch. There was an episode of the Brady Bunch where I think it was Cindy, the youngest of the Brady daughters, has a pet fish, and the pet fish dies, and they flush it. And I hope I'm not making this up, but I genuinely believe there was a Brady Bunch episode where they flush a pet fish that died. And so I always thought you like flush a fish when it dies. And Odie he was mostly dead. So.
Yeah, but apparently, I didn't know people euthanize their fish. Apparently this is a thing that people do. I thought you just let your fish die and then you take care of it. So I wasn't even thinking. And then the morning after I Googled, and there's like, I think it's pine oil, clove oil, some type of oil that like, it's like you can just like, it's an essential oil. If you put a certain amount of drops into their tank based off of the size of the fish and the amount of water in the tank, it'll like put them to sleep. It's like carbon monoxide poisoning, but for fish.
Odie, like the best like ride of his life down like the giant water slide after we flushed him. And your mom said, yeah, it's a water slide where he's like, just ends up like slamming into a whole bunch of poop when he gets down the slide. So
poor guy.
Yeah, I know. All right. Well,
we'll get a new fish. Not right now. But
now we know for the future beta fish that will enter the Hyman home, Odie number 2, that we're not going to flush him when his.
I'm going to get a
when
female
his or her,
beta this time.
When her time comes, we know we're not gonna flush her. So
because people don't get female betas because they're not as pretty. Because the males are more. I don't know if flamboyant's the right word. They're more showy because that's how they attract mates. So people will get them. So I'm going to buy a female one instead.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
When my time comes and I pass on, don't flush me down the toilet.
I won't.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Don't you fret. I didn't want to flush Odie down the toilet. I was distraught.
You were.
I was sobbing.
You were.
I flushed him, closed the toilet lid, flushed him, sat on the toilet, like put my arms over the lid and cried for like 5 minutes straight.
You did.
It was a very horrible sight.
Yeah, it was a very sad week, but then capped off with a great, it's the yin and yang of life, Like you
Odie
take
was looking down on
the good
me.
with the bad, the ups and the downs. So yeah, so Odie was looking down on you.
Yeah.
at the rock off. Wonderful. So we'll get another beta fish at some point
in March.
Yeah, after spring break, I guess, when we get back.
Yes.
Yeah, after we travel for spring break, that way.
I have to clean out his tank still. I'm very much so avoiding doing that. It's just full of water right now.
Yeah, it's gonna get skanky soon.
I know, and then I have to bleach everything and let it dry and stuff.
Yuck. All right. Anything else you want to add about Odie?
He was a great fish.
Rest in power, Odie.
Oh, I'm getting a vase made.
Oh, wait.
Of Odie.
Tell what vase of what?
Of Odie. I don't know. I'm getting a ceramic piece. I won it at the school auction, and I would like a vase, and then I can plant a plant in it, and it can be Odie's plant.
So the vase is going to is going to be in the shape of a beta fish, or is it going to have a beta fish painted on it, or you have no idea?
I don't know. I'm giving the artist creative freedom.
Wonderful. I can't wait to see it.
Me
Fabulous.
Too. I'll have it sometime before graduation.
Fabulous. All right. I'm tired. It was a long night last night.
Oh, I'm full of energy.
Are you?
I had an energy drink at Cole's house.
I'm exhausted.
I'm like ready to go.
I didn't fall asleep till like 2 a.m. last night. I was so jazzed up with the adrenaline.
Oh, I went to bed as soon as we got home.
Oh, I am wiped. So I think I'm gonna call it an episode. But it's been a week of highs and lows here in our home. I'll drop the link for Rock Off tickets for anyone local in the show notes. For anyone interested in going to the Rock Hall on March 2nd, same deal as last time. You get full admission to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for your $20 ticket or $15 for students. It's a great deal. Plus, you get like 3 or 4 hours of great music from really cool high school musicians, including my co-host. So,
yes.
All right. You did a like tiny desk style thing
I did
last
do that,
weekend.
yes.
So I'll play us out with some. Should we do Boys Like You?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll play out with a little bit of Boys Like You. Thanks for listening. We'll be back. Should we come back again in 3 weeks after the Rock Off finals?
I think that's a pretty good idea.
All right, we will be back in 3 weeks to
Unless there's more important news, like if I commit to a college.
If you commit to a college, we'll be back to talk college choices. Otherwise, we'll be back on March 3rd, March 5th. I think that's the right date. Whatever that first Tuesday in March is, I think it's March 5th. We'll be back to recap the Rock Off final exam and let everyone know about the experience and how Norah did. So everybody have a great few weeks. Norah, real quick, where can everybody find you if not here on the podcast?
Norah Marie Music.
Wonderful. We'll see everyone in a few weeks. Love you,
Yes.
Norah.
Love you too.
1,000 words on a page in my notebook. Hope that's not too much for you to read. Trying hard to forget it, but it really can't leave my mind no matter how hard I try. All the hours I should have been sleeping, all the hours I wasted talking to you. Now I see it was so useless, the way you played me like a fool. I don't wanna come off as rude. Not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to realize it's not worth it for you. And I'm tired of playing games for boys like you, 'cause it's stupid. Feel right in, and I need to shut up about boys like you. All the screenshots that I sent to my friends, honestly, my storage should have been full by then. To be fair, you did a lot wrong. After all, this'll be your 3rd or 4th song. I'm just trying to prove a point. Just admit that I'm right. Really need you to realize it's not worth it for you. And I'm tired of playing games for boys like you, 'cause it's stupid. Feel right in, and I need to shut up about boys like you. And I apologize too many times when I really didn't need to. So please realize it worth it for you? It's not worth it for you. And I'm tired of playing games for boys like you, 'cause it's too